I don't know about the rest of you, but I never really liked cold calling. I was good at it, but I didn't like it. And I started to see this shift where more and more people were going online. I mean, heck, if I was looking for the best burger in Pittsburgh, I would go online. I want to know, like, hey, like, where am I gonna get this? So more and more people were going online to find the services that we provide as advisors.
Derek is on a mission to transform the financial services industry. In 2013, he transitioned his practice to a virtual model in order to work smarter and embrace the 21st century digital landscape. Part of his mission is to provide professionals like you with state-of-the-art resources that I certainly wish I would have had available when I started. He's a fintech founder, husband, father, and in the top 40 under 40 in 2019. Welcome, Derek, to the call.
Hey, Tom, thanks a ton for having me here. I really appreciate it. Really stoked to be doing this partnership, and everybody, awesome. Thanks for joining us. Looks like we've got folks from all over the place.
Let's get going. I want everybody to benefit from, because I moved my business virtual and it's been a big positive. You moved your business virtual. We both did it before COVID. And so that gave us a heads up on everything else. So I know people know they have to have a digital presence today, but why don't you get into your story, how you did it, and some of the things that you're doing?
So I've been, like a lot of you, I've been in the industry since 2006. And some of my first trainings were with Tom, by the way, guys, at my New York Life days. And, I was taught the old methods of door knocking, cold calling, seminars, driving all over the place. And for me, it was like, it worked. I made some good money, right? I was having a good time. Like Tom, you and I went to council, like we did one in Florida, I remember. What ended up happening is that I started to burn out. I started to get physically unhealthy. I wasn't spending enough time with my family. And eventually I became a dad. I'm like, okay, I now really have to change my priorities here. And so I had that kind of that personal life tugging on me, like, hey, like, there's got to be a better way. But also, like, I don't know about the rest of you, but I never really liked cold calling. I was good at it, but I didn't like it. And I started to see this shift where more and more people were going online. I mean, heck, if I was looking for the best burger in Pittsburgh, I would go online. I want to know, like, hey, like, where am I going to get this? So more and more people were going online to find the services that we provide as advisors. And I'm like, man, there's got to be something to this. Like, I can market myself this way 24/7. Wait a minute, I don't have to have an office anymore. I can work remotely and do it from anywhere. And it kind of led me down this rabbit hole of, man, there's got to be a better way to build a business, to run a business, to scale a business. So as you mentioned, in 2013, that's when I went down that rabbit hole. And I ended up being able to reduce my overhead by about 61% by going virtual, remote, digital, whatever you guys want to call it. But also I've been continuing to increase my income. Core to the table MDRT, member consistently every year. When I was at New York Life, top 5 to 10% of producers there. And I was doing it remotely, and I was doing it working at that time, maybe 20 hours a week. And what happened, Tom, is that a lot of advisors started asking, like, well, how do you do that? How do you work remotely and get your clients to buy an insurance policy or to roll over their money or whatever it is? How do you write a blog post? How do you do this thing called social media? And so initially I was like, okay, well, I can help this other, fellow advisor down the hall for me learn some of this stuff. And pretty quickly I learned, like, there's not enough time to do that. So like you, Tom, I wanted to create a resource where I could help a lot of advisors do what I did. And I did it from somewhat of an altruistic perspective because I wanted advisors to have a great work-life balance, make the kind of money they really wanted. Like we're told that this industry, you can come in, you can play golf, you can make all the money in the world. And then you're like 5 years in, you're like, man, I'm working 70 hours a week. Something's off here. So there's got to be a better way to do things. So that was the impetus for me to create Conneqtor. It's years of my trial and error of figuring out how to do all of these things remotely, how to do all of these things digitally, how to bring assets in, how to write insurance policies virtually.